Right.
CPS, you said, is interviewing the family or investigating the family. Has that case been closed, or is it still opened?
No, it's been closed, and that was a while back, and it was for a video that wasn't.
Hasn't even been mentioned.
Yeah, it hasn't even been mentioned in all this.
And it was for all the older videos also, but since then we have changed up everything that they said that we needed to change.
But they interviewed the kids privately, like each one of them, not the kids all together in a group. They interviewed Cody, they interviewed Jake, Ryan, Alex, Emma separately. Some of them at their school, some of them here in our home, in their rooms.
Well, let me tell you, many people who've ever dealt with CPS or, whatever Division of Family Services, whatever you want to call it in your state, many people have conflicting reports, and they don't always do their job correctly. Case in point, I had 2 family members of mine that were children that died recently as a result of being given back to their alcoholic, drug-abusing father. Somebody in my family makes me so upset. And had CPS done their due diligence, those kids would have never gone into the hands of such a negligent human being who had already endangered his children once by getting in a wreck and hurting the child because he was on drugs and alcohol. He is on drugs and alcohol again. I'll post a link to the video so you guys can see it if you want to know what I'm talking about. This happened about a month ago. It's really fresh for me. It's still fresh. And it's fucking awful. And so there are so many times the system doesn't catch things and fails. So don't act like just because CPS came around and didn't find anything or didn't do anything then, doesn't mean there's not cause for concern. I think it's time for them to have another visit.
They interviewed, people who actually know us, like family members, friends, school people, and, the case was closed because there's nothing to find. Like there was nothing for them to see. And they realized that. And they did say that some of our videos were distasteful, which I can agree. I mean, some of them are. Content's not for everyone. And, even me watching some of it, it's distasteful. I can see how people say that. But it's not abuse, was the bottom line. And
then obviously you don't know what abuse is. And I'll show a video, guys, where they're defending their actions against the haters, and they look at abuse as being like chained up and not being fed and tortured. That's not just abuse. You have done verbal and psychological abuse to these children through these videos, which I have already shown in my other videos and I will continue to show, but that doesn't matter because you don't give a shit if you screw up a kid's mind and emotions. Fuck that. As long as you're not physically hurting them, then who gives a shit, right? White trash logic.
What about the case where, Mike, you push Cody down? A lot of people are saying that you slammed his head into the bookshelf, that he was bleeding. Can you talk about that situation a little bit and describe it and describe how you feel that situation should be labeled?
I'd love to. I actually put a video on Twitter debunking that.
No, but he means what? Like why you pushed him, like you put your arm out.
Why I did I did not mean to, like, that wasn't, I didn't mean for him to hit the bookcase. What happened was he ran at me and I kind of like a reflex, like pushed him off a little bit, but it wasn't a push to force. It wasn't a push to hurt him. It wasn't nothing like what people are calling it. It wasn't nothing like that. And if I really thought it was something bad, like if it was really something bad, I would have dealt with the situation.
You've made it very clear to all of us that your parenting skills and your judgment skills really aren't up to par, really aren't there. So how can we judge how bad it was? And furthermore, what was the consequence of your action to pushing him? What was it? What did you do to make up for it? Or did you just embarrass him some more? What did you do to make that situation right? Or are you just sitting here justifying it away like you do everything else?
Now, was he bleeding? Was he actually bleeding? Because that's kind of been up in the air whether or not he was bleeding from that or not.
No. And you can look in all the older videos and even see the same pillow. The incident with that pillow is Cody got a hold of a red marker, or he got a hold of something red and he busted it in his bed.
The boy likes ink. He likes to make messes.
He likes to draw a lot. He has all kinds of drawing stuff. And something busted and it got on his pillow. And we've even we've even torn this house apart trying to find that same pillow to show everybody
we
that
got rid of that when we moved.
Yeah, but we ended up, exactly. We got rid of it when we moved. And I made a video on Twitter about it, and I showed that the ink is there before he even puts his face on it.
Okay.
And plus, if he was bleeding that bad, if that was blood, he would have been covered in blood. He wipes his face on his shirt. There's nothing there.
And the boy does have bruises. I won't even tell you that he doesn't. He's a rough child. He's everywhere. He runs and plays trees and...
This is one where I can give a little bit of credit. Okay, maybe he wasn't bleeding. That's fine. Maybe there was an ink situation, because we know they fucking have ink situations because of what they've put out. And, you know, when I was a kid, I had bruises all over the place because I was a rough kid too. And they live with boys. That I can kind of understand. I'm not justifying. I'm not saying I think they are right or wrong, but I'm just saying I can give some credit there where it's due.
Before I started this interview, I DM'd two people. I reached out to two people. One of those was Phil DeFranco, asking him for a question from him to ask you directly. He didn't respond. And I also reached out to Boogie2988, who has himself dealt with abuse. And I asked him for one question or one thing that I could put forward in this interview. And what he wants is kind of what I suggest, you know, a counselor or an advocate, child advocate, somewhere in the house that can be a part of the videos for a month or something, just to be there firsthand to see exactly what's going on. And now you said in this interview that you're not opposed to that. Can we get some type of commitment that you'll move forward with that? Because I feel like that would take so much heat and hate off the family if you're willing to do something like that to prove that everyone is safe in the house.
Yeah. I could look into that and see who I could get to come out.
Awesome.
Well, let's hope some good can come out of that. Let's hope that even though I think this interview has so much bullshit to it, maybe some good can come out of it somewhere, because at least they'll have, if they do this, they'll have somebody there, hopefully it's somebody court appointed, who just hangs out and shows them what's appropriate, not appropriate, because they obviously have no fucking clue.
And then the last thing is, can we get some type of confirmation that Cody is going to get to go to Disneyland? Because I think that would help immensely with some of these people that are upset with you guys.
Yes, people. Cody is going to get, and he's going to get the special treatment of going by himself with mom and dad.
Again, bitch, you are not his mother. Quit trying to act like his mother. Quit trying to be HBIC and run and control everything with your fucking ego of that you're some big, powerful mother who has got all these fucking responsibilities. You are not Cody's mother. Cody has a mother. It's not you. Quit trying to replace her, especially when you treat him like shit. However, I am happy that Cody is going to get to go. Bitch, do not call him your son. Don't say you are his mother, because you are not. But thank God you guys are going to step up and do right by this kid.
When we can watch him and thoroughly and make sure he's not running off.
Everybody just, you know, they didn't even give us time. Like, we literally, when all this blew up, just got back from Disney. Like, we didn't even have Cody back yet from my parents, because he spent the week with them, and he wasn't there having a horrible time. He was with Nan and Pop being spoiled rotten.
The only kid. He's got all the attention.
He had all Nan and Pop's attention
and when we
for
were
a week straight.
But they're not his biological grandparents. And I know from firsthand, being in that situation of being a kid of divorce, how uncomfortable that is. That's not his real grandparents. You just shipped him off with people that aren't his real grandparents, and who gives a crap, and said you didn't even want him to go. Oh, that video is coming. It's on Joy Sparkle. Go check it out.
And at Disneyland, if I have the chance to continue posting all the Disney videos, you can see that it's extremely crowded. Yeah. There were times when we were shoulder to shoulder, and it would not be safe. And I don't want to say on a vlog or something, hey, all these people that I don't know, my child will wander off and everything. I mean, what if someone sees him and gets him to wander off and kidnaps him?
Right.
It's for his own safety that he did not go with with all the kids plus another family.
Well, then you find an adult to assign to him to watch him, or you don't go anywhere with any of them because you don't want to disclude him. But furthermore, now you guys have let people know he has this issue and that he's a target. Good job. Again, good parenting skills because you're keeping him safe and private, aren't you?
Plus, we already had it in our mind that he was going to go. He already has a ticket.
All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to wrap it up right here. But regardless of how you feel about this situation, we have two good steps in the right direction. They're going to bring someone in the house, to be a third party to see what's going on, to confirm with everyone, what the real situation is over in the household. And Cody is going to get to go to Disneyland or Disney World. Thank you guys for coming on Drama Alert Nation.
And there you have it. So to me, KeemStar, I don't believe did this interview correctly at all. At all. The fact that KeemStar didn't know if there was abuse going on? Are you kidding me? At the very least, it's verbal and psychological abuse, and you can't see that, and yet you want to interview them like you're getting the scoop? No. You basically were just riding the fucking fence, and I feel like you were just trying to make them more comfortable than anything else. But the good news is it looks like maybe there will be a counselor in the house for a month who fucking knows if they're going to follow through with that. And Cody is going to get to go to California. These parents need parenting classes stat. Because what they have done to their kids and how it's funny to them to torture their children like that and call it a prank is still disgusting and still wrong. And until they see that, I'm going to ride their asses about that. This has been Joy Sparkle BS. Continue to be a blessing yourselves, a blessing to others. Continue to try to find the joy and the sparkles of the bullshit in the world. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys soon. And everybody have a good whatever it is you are going through.